right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. The drama is here in full force, and also roster updates, and unfortunately some sad news, as I thought we were over this hump and over this issue for ALGS. Sadly, the biggest tournament of like ALGS history, champs of 2023 year 3, is coming up, and the issue is still persisting, and sadly we might not see one of the best players from the specific region of EMEA as well. We'll have to wait and see how this all unfolds. But if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, of course, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and dive right into this. First thing I wanted to make mention of, yesterday I told you guys that the girl squad for TSM is unfortunately split up. Bear, Sabs, and basically Janie basically just said that, you know, Ava just was not cutting it out anymore. She didn't want to play the game anymore. So they decided to go with a new roster. And it seems like Scarlita is their brand new third that they're going to be playing with from now on as well. So I guess I'll drop a follow while I'm at it. So unfortunate news, and it seems like basically they tried to come to Ava and say, hey, you know, we need this, we need that, this is not working. And Ava was like trying to say, oh, here, I can make this time, I can do these days, I can do that days. But it's just like they said that they didn't feel like her heart was in it. They didn't, she didn't really want to do it. And so unfortunately, that's why they decided to move on. Also wanted to mention block 1 scrim results, next block starting in 15 minutes. Obviously this was posted yesterday, but this was something that Apex Legends professional players have been, you know, being a part of since probably for like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. They've been doing international scrims for champs for a very, very long time. So TSM is actually starting to come back up. We talked about this, I think, yesterday, the day before yesterday. Optic Gaming across all boards have been the most consistent team. They have been doing so well, and TSM has been a team that's basically dropped down along with Dark Zero and not been playing so well as of late. Well, it seems like TSM obviously had a good day yesterday, and obviously Optic Gaming still having a good day. It's insane to watch how good Optic is becoming, and I'm really rooting for those boys. Honestly, I love Optic Gaming as an organization. Definitely one of the, you know, probably biggest fan favorited as far as like in general of organizations. I've been a fan of Scump forever, Nade Shot when back in the Optic days, and Formal, all that stuff. So it's really nice to see Optic, you know, doing pretty well over here in the Apex Legends scene. Also TSM, of course, the fan favorites for Apex. Good to see those boys back in business as well. It's kind of weird because TSM, not only were they struggling just in general, but everybody's been kind of wondering, where are they going to find their footing in the meta here? They've not really been super dominant or abusive with a certain meta, and it seems like they've been trying to find their identity with that. So we'll just kind of have to see how this stuff plays out at champs, but good to see that they're having some success. Also Oxygen Esports here, another team to look out for. I've kind of have them as an underdog here. I also want to say Optic Gaming could be a dark horse, but at this point, if they're just going to keep racking up scrims first place and it's not even that big of a deal, I guess you can't even say they're a dark horse anymore. But Oxygen Esports still my dark horse coming into champs, so we'll have to wait and see. But kudos to TSM, doing pretty good. Also want to mention the Gauntlet League beta season came to an ending last night. Quite an abrupt ending, honestly. But we did see a big announcement, and a big champion was crowned as well. So basically, game 1 was going through here, and you could see Verhulst, as he has already been doing all season long for the Gauntlet League. He dominated, and he did really, really good. Game 1 goes to Big E, and basically they pull off a very fat W. Then you could see moving on, 4 matches were on match point, and that was Verhulst, Zero, Mamba, and OJ. I just call him Orange Juice because I have no idea in the world how to pronounce that, and I should really. And I said I would give you guys 20 bucks if you can make me a list of all the pros and tell me how to pronounce them, and no one did it for me. I guess 20 wasn't too much. Let's do 50. So anyways, let's continue with how the gauntlet went. So abrupt ending, like I said, turning update due to Apex server issues. They said they decided to announce that they were going to be ending the tournament on game 8, which was a little weird. They decided, you know, hey, we're not going to go continue the match point stuff, we're not going to keep going, we're just going to end it on game 8, which was a little, you know, I guess odd. Everybody was like, why not just continue tomorrow? Nonetheless, at the end of all of this, Team Verhulst was able to win it all. Gauntlet League champions with Phony and Enemigo as well. Shout out to Nick Merckx and the crew for running the tournament the best they could despite all the crashes. So you could see first place. Now, what was weird here, you got first place with Phony, Verhulst, and Enemigo at, you know, 85 points. Then you've got Effect Taylor and OJ over here with 85 points as well. So, you know, a little weird as far as they've, you know, the whole point system goes, of course. What was really nice, though, is Rambo, Mamba, and Psycop. Rambo obviously not finding himself on a starting roster right now for champs because he retired, he came back, he retired. What, you know, nobody really knew what was going on with Rambo, like what was gonna officially happen. And after the whole Sentinels drama, everybody's like, is Rainbow going to find himself on a tier 1 org anyways, or is he going to have to go back through challengers? Well, I think obviously the dude is showing that he can still hang, and he's definitely still good enough as well. Now here's where the drama began to really unfold. Yesterday, Zero from Dark Zero was playing in basically there was like this tournament that they were doing, and they were going in all of these or they were doing all of these games. They've been doing all kinds of stuff. You had the Sora and Yoritos Invitational, you've had the Gauntlet League, you've had ALGS Scrims. I think there was another thing they were doing as well. Anyways, you had this stream that was coming from Zero, and his title was Pro TDM Dark Zero versus Go Next. So they were supposed to be doing some matches in this, and you could see that there was supposed to be a little bit of a draft inside of this Discord that they were doing. Zero has been one to definitely not avoid the drama, and he's also been known to be somewhat of an arrogant ego persona in the ALGS scene. Now some guys are saying, listen, that's just who Zero is, that's the competitive mindset he has, he's just got that strong personality, that's just who he is, you just gotta have to learn to deal with him, he's not meaning anything personal. Then there's another side to that story that says like, look, no matter who he is or who he thinks he is, you just can't be that way, and sometimes it doesn't sit well with a lot of people as well. So interested to see your thoughts on that, but this is what exactly happened. So DIGVIBEZ, of course, was not very happy with being put on blast. Now basically someone chose DIGVIBEZ as a competitor to play with, and Zero started roasting him live on stream. And of course, being a smaller guy, 17 years old, aspiring pro, trying to get out of there, trying to get his name out there, wanting the best reputation for his name, he's actually really respected by a lot of pros as well. This was obviously something that upset him quite a bit. Got over 1,700 likes, and a lot of pros really came to back him up here, which I thought was interesting. So roll the clip, and I'm interested to see what you guys think on how Zero handled this situation. Roll the clip.
Yeah, probably organic money. Yeah, definitely.
Nah, that's insane, bro. It's just a bunch of challenger circuit players and psychops.
Bro, he picked DigiVibes. What the fuck? Empty Uxako and DigiVibes the fucking team in this tournament. What the fuck? What the fuck?
There's no way. There's no way.
Bro, that guy wants to lose. What the fuck?
I see where this is going.
2 RGLs and DigiVibes. That's tough.
That's wild, bro. What y'all got against me, man?
I think Wolf might pick me.
Bro, as I said, nothing to get. You're a great guy, brother Digi, but you're just fucking horrible. Like, what can you do?
Damn, what
God damn. Nah, I was using a wait. Are people screaming? Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously it's hard to look at that video and not think that that's just not the right thing to say. And of course, what the real drama after all of this was like some of the comments saying, oh yeah, I agree, DIGVIBEZ, obviously you should not have been treated this way, but that's just how Zero is. Like, so it's kind of like, it's just weird how some people that have enough clout can get away with this, but if it's, vice versa, if DIGVIBEZ is, 20 years old, Zero 17 years old, and let's say that Dig doesn't have the viewer base, he's got like maybe 20 50 viewers, whatever, and Zero is an aspiring pro, whatever. If Dig is not as big of a champion, a world champion, and such a respected player as far as like just winning all these tournaments, I think Dig gets like not cancel, but I think he gets roasted for it. I think people come out and flame this hard, but because Zero is a little bit more popular, I'm kind of surprised and a little annoyed that like he's kind of in that, how do you say this? He's like in that clique towards like they're already friends, they already respect him. So because he's in the circle already, they're never gonna like banish him away from that circle. So they'll just say, instead of like, dude, you're so screwed up for that, they'll just say like, yeah, that wasn't right, but that's just who he is, and blah blah blah, we just move on. But on the other side of this, do they have a point? Do they make a point? We see very often in competitive scenes and real life sports or some other sports as well, there are some hot heads there that just simply exist, and they are people that are able to be friends with. You're just really got to be niche. Like, it's a very specific person that can make friendships with those type of people. So interested to see if you guys agree. What was really weird is that he did not really apologize for this. He actually just completely doubled down, and we'll look at that in just a second. Imperial Hallow said, don't worry, I'll take care of him at champs. And this is the drama I'm talking about. He says, I'll take care of him at champs, kind of seeming like he agrees, but then he says, PS, he's not a piece of crap person, only some understand him. So that was like the consensus. Everybody was like, yeah, that was wrong, I can't believe it, much love to Dig, but that's just who he is. So some people were a little aggravated with that. Light said the same thing, basically, like, why it is finally everybody's realizing that Zero is just that type of guy, and you know, not in a good way. Some people are saying like he's got to stop being this way. Someone's got to really put him in his place. How do you do that when he's a world champion and he just doesn't stop winning as well? Some people are saying he gets more cringe every day. Too far, 0L. So his Watson obviously showing where he sides on this. Alberlelli also saying try not to take it personally, just kind of how Zero is. I think obviously it was out of pocket and hurtful, not even like bannerable. So it's like not even like competitive banner. Then he goes on though to give a different take. Alberlelli actually kind of, I feel like he swapped up here. So Waltzy is saying Zero is just a competitive person. What he said isn't a personal attack, just in-game talk. Do you guys agree? Honestly, this is like an open book, neutral stance here. Do you guys agree that that's just banner, or did he take it too far? He has missed the mark on this one, he says, which is weird because he says like this is just in-game crap talk, but then he says he missed the mark. So it's like, is it real? Is it too far, or is it in-game? You know, so it's like, pick a side. I just don't understand. Just trying to be neutral, just trying to put like play devil's advocate here. He has a platform now, but I don't think this warrants the reaction it's getting from the community, he says. Now, Alberlelli said on the flip side of this, I think it's just drastically different if you're talking to an equal like this and bannering, i.e. if this is, you know, Zero versus How, where you know these guys are world champions, you know, or, you know, these guys obviously have so many tournament wins, they're so respected, and it is what it is. You know they're the greatest, and you just move on. But Dig, like he says, is literally 17 years old, aspiring pro player, just getting dunked on by a world champion for no reason. Put yourself in his shoes. How would you react if someone you looked up to called you garbage? So very interesting take, and interested to see where you guys fall on the side of this. Clover also saying Dig grinds like crazy and probably the most unproblematic person I know. Literally every time I spoke to the kid, he's just such a like fun. He seems like he's just happy. He just likes everybody. You're a grown man acting like a 17-year-old. Grow up. Now, like I said, Zero actually doubled down in all of this as well, and so it seems like, you know, maybe he's just sticking to that story, that's just who he is. And so that's why I'm interested to see if you guys agree with that side, or if you think that, you know, maybe this is a little bit too far. I can't even find the tweets where if someone said he was doubling down. Oh yeah, here we go. So in that Gauntlet League we were looking at, Vaz tweeted out that basically Zero was still like just dogging on Dig after he won a game, which is like crazy that he's just, you know, continuing on rather than apologizing, moving on, and just getting over it. Anyways, interested to see what you guys have to say. I've really beat this dead horse, and I've said I said I'm interested to see what you have to say about 20 million times at this point. Let's just move on. But seriously, I am interested in what you have to say. Now, what happened with Hal in the Sword Tournament? One thing we're seeing with TSM, if you look back at this roster, we see Verhulst constantly doing good with the Gauntlet League. Now he obviously won it as well. What's Hal doing on the side of this? And this is where the conversations came in a couple weeks ago, is who's really the CEO of TSM? Is it Biggie, or is it obviously Hal as well? Rep's obviously underrated, being the support legend, doesn't get, or support character doesn't really get as much, or support role, I should say, doesn't really get as much love in that as well. Now, Hal apparently did not have as good of a sword tournament as others. We looked at some of the rosters there. I'm surprised Timmy didn't dominate with the team that they had. Obviously, Shiv FPS was able to win it in the end. Something that people were wondering and discussing over here on Reddit, though, is what happened with Imperial Hal. If you guys did not see it, basically, Imperial Hal just left his team for the last round. People were asking what happened here. I couldn't find his or We the People's VOD. They just deleted the whole stream. No vid on YouTube. Was there some kind of beef between them, or is it just a stupid joke resulting in Hal leaving the tournament? Either way, just seems dumb and childish to me. I would expect a more professional behavior from him. I mean, there were casual players like Gaming Merchant or Macro just having fun and vibing, while the setting is the biggest whatever of their Apex career. And Hal, a pro player, could not have basically, you know, surely he didn't just go on a tantrum after he lost. So what exactly happened? Well, the story came out in some of the comments that apparently the tourney was chalked from the start. We the People did not show up for game one, and if you guys were like looking forward to this action and waiting to see how Hal did, and you're wondering why you couldn't find the stream, this was obviously why. We the People didn't show up for game one, according to this guy, and according to many comments as well. And then also, when he did show up, he was way too drunk to even function. Their teammate also didn't play very well, so Hal just simply rage quit after game four, so say these reports. So that's why you were not seeing Hal compete, and obviously why you didn't see Hal do so good as well. Now, lastly, just as we wrap the video up, I want to let you guys know on a big issue just as we go into ALGS Champs. There's two issues specifically. Number one is a brand new glitch that apparently has been shocking players going into champs. Now, we've talked about this in the past, that yes, there are big issues, and I think there was one like Horizon Q Audio, Aiden the Destroyer basically posted the other day that if Respawn doesn't acknowledge this audio issue with Horizon, is going to be absolutely unbelievable going into champs. But some people said that there was actually a new Japanese tournament that was going on, a Rampart's turret during a Japanese tournament. There was a frustrating glitch with this. Upon dismounting from a turret and engaging in combat, Mero, who was playing as Caustic, unexpectedly found themselves teleporting through the floor. This resulted in their swift defeat by an opposing team that had been camping below. This glitch had led many fans and players also to believe or question the viability of Rampart in competitive play, as she poses a potential risk to a team's success. Additionally, Rampart's already limited presence in Apex Legends tournaments due to the current meta is further compounded by this glitch, causing increased concern among fans. Now, the only team I could really see, voice crack by the way, the only team I could really see this like just bumfuzzling, there's not really many teams running Rampart, I don't think. I remember NRG was running it not long ago, but I feel like the meta is just so wild right now and there's so many different options. So although it's like, yes, this glitch exists and yes, they need to look into this before champs, and yes, it is true, I also feel like at the same sense, it's one of those things where I don't think many people are going to be worried about Rampart too much. And also if they are, they probably just stop playing her if the glitch is that bad. And I haven't, just seems like a weird article to me to report something like that. But obviously there are some things that they need to worry about. Like I said, Aiden posted this, that Horizon Q has got to be fixed before champs. And you know good and well that they definitely will not. Another thing that probably won't be fixed before champs, unfortunately, is 9 Impulse. The Fire Beavers obviously now been signed recently, I think, to Aurora. This is a big issue and I'm still so confused. So he posted that he had no visa, unfortunately. Now they missed split 1 playoffs because of the visa issues as well. And basically they were able to make it to split 2 just in the nick of time, thankfully. So problem is, I thought that stuff just carried over. And so surely they'll just be all set and dandy for champs, right? No, well, apparently you have to redo all of this stuff again. I don't know what's going on, but he still has no visa again. So yeah, it looks like the team that missed split 1 made it to split 2 might miss champs again. Visa issues for the upcoming LAN. What's currently known, number 1, yes, Impulse, 9 Impulse, no visa. And then also regarding Alliance Effect, still waiting on Effect's visa confirmation. Scrims with Mandy this week, keep our options open. So this was coming straight from Hackus over on Twitch. So it looks like Alliance could be in some deep trouble as well if they cannot get Effect in there. Effect, obviously, in my opinion, one of their best players, if not their best player. Heavy hitting is all get out. I think the LAN leader in like the kills department and just like, you know, just kills per game probably. Dude is really, really important for their roster. And if they cannot get his visa figured out, it's going to be bad news for Alliance. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about all the topics mentioned in today's video. Of course, make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends, esports related. And if you're a pro out there watching this and you're like, bro, this guy does no idea what he's talking about, he really doesn't need to be doing the Apex Legends esports news like this, then I don't really know what to tell you. But I still love you and I'm a fan of all your content because I love watching Apex Legends esports, and this is just kind of fun for me to do. And I don't know why I'm really talking like this, but you know what? At the end of the day, I like the idea that we just do what we want to do and we ain't got to worry about what anybody thinks about us. We just get together and watch Apex esports and have a good old time. And if the pros don't like it, or if the pros get mad, or if one of the pros watches and he's like, screw this jmeyels guy, which then it happens. I mean, Nick Merckx watched my video apparently and put me in his hype trailer. I'm happy about that. And I was talking, I was kind of talking bad about tripods, and now they weren't going to be successful. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be here. So hate if you will. Haters gonna hate. I don't know. Later, Gators. Outro. Sorry. This should be a little bit more professional. This is really unprofessional. Later.